What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Black Ops 6 just received a massive update. An update that brings us the most in-depth weapon tuning that we've seen to date in this game. But in addition to that, we also have seen some adjustments to the perks, some adjustments to the equipment, and adjustments to the spawn system. While all this sounds great, my main focus for this update is what they did to the Recon combat specialty, because that has been the thorn in the side of many in this community, especially with the release of Nuketown. It has highlighted and exacerbated the issue with having wall hacks in this game. It's just unnecessary. But before we get to that, I do want to talk about some of the other highlights that this patch has. First and foremost, they changed the XP earn rate. Treyarch adjusted player XP and weapon XP earn rates for most modes to ensure that players are being rewarded for their match performance as expected wherever they play. So weapon XP has been increased and player XP has been increased in TDM, Control, Search and Destroy, and Gunfight. And this is huge because I have seen many people criticize Black Ops 6 for the amount of XP it takes to max out a weapon even though they've already got the weapon gold. So you have the gold weapon, but not every attachment. It just seems a little weird, and I'm glad that they're boosting that weapon XP earn rate. That's great. And in addition to that, earning extra XP is always a good thing. It's going to entice you and reward you to keep playing a little bit longer. They also nerfed the duration of the flashbang. It's not as egregious as it once was, which is nice to see. They've adjusted some spawn logic, which was much needed. I'm very curious to see if that has made a noticeable difference or not. And they've also done a ton of weapon tuning. I don't want to go into all of the nitty gritty here, so if you are curious about all of the weapon tuning, check out the full patch notes down below in the description, as that will go in depth to let you know which guns have been buffed, which guns have been nerfed. Speaking of nerfs, the Recon combat specialty. You know, the wall hack combat specialty where you pair up all of the blue perks together, you earn wall hacks. Yeah, that has been a major problem. And I am really glad that Treyarch decided to address it. They had a developer address it yesterday on Twitter, which was nice to see. But not only that, they addressed it in these patch notes. But my goodness, is this just a terrible change? Under the Recon combat specialty, reduce duration that enemies are highlighted after respawning from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. An additional reduction will be coming before Season 1. This isn't what we asked for. We don't want to see a reduction to wall hacks. We want to see it eliminated completely. I get that it helps some players, but what it also does is it infuriates the rest of us because there's no counter to it. There's absolutely nothing you can do. And a half-second change is effectively nothing. They've essentially put a band-aid over a wound. However, the band-aid only covers like a quarter of the wound, so there's still blood spilling everywhere. It's an awful change. And I know that they say that an additional reduction will come in Season 1, but like, I don't care. It shouldn't be an additional reduction. We shouldn't be moving from 1.5 seconds down to 1 second or down to half a second. It should be eliminated altogether, or it should be counterable. People that want to flank should not have this hanging over their heads. And they make this note here, which I think is just kind of funny, because it's totally not what anybody in this community wants to hear. As we head into Season 1, we're continuing to observe data and feedback for perks and combat specialties in multiplayer. Currently, Enforcer is the most popular combat specialty, with Recon in second place. It's not just about the data, though, as your feedback is a critical part of how we approach tuning of the live game. With that said, we are making some spot adjustments today as we continue to take a holistic look at our perks and combat specialties moving forward. I am sick and tired of hearing about the data. The data tells me this, the data tells me that. Play your game and figure out if it works or not. Because it takes 2 seconds to realize that wall hacks in a game is unfair, is stupid, is silly, and needs to go. And I'm glad they're making the change where you can't switch to the Recon class midway through an S&D match or through any match and get free wall hacks. That's nice. But I mean, it shouldn't be this big of a deal because there shouldn't be something this powerful to begin with. Now, the data might say that Enforcer is the most used combat specialty? Well, let's talk about why. Because there's a default class that has every single combat specialty available to it. But the Enforcer is the most common one that people are going to use because that is the AR. Why would you not use that default class? But it's not just the default class that is going to push people towards the Enforcer combat specialty. It's also the perk combinations. Yes, Recon allows you to have Ghost, which is great, especially in the early game. But outside of pairing it with Tracker, the third perk that you're going to use is more or less useless. Like, Vigilance sucks early game. Once you get to like level 41 and you're able to use Cold-Blooded, it's a little different. But before then, it's a bit of a pointless third perk to have, especially when you could have a perk like Bankroll that allows you to earn 150 points right out the gate every single life. And then you pair that with like Dexterity and Scavenger, and you're already building a better class than what you can create with the blue perks. And that's why I think Enforcer's being used a little bit more. It's not like it's infinitely stronger. Recon's a much better combat specialty than Enforcer. But it's just the fact that the Enforcer combat specialty has better perks, especially early on in the Prestige, as to why it's probably being used more. So just relying on the data, it doesn't tell you the whole story. And this is why I get so fed up with Call of Duty constantly always talking about the data. The data only tells you half of the story. You have to play your game and understand your game to get the bigger picture and the full picture. And the full picture here is it's time to get rid of Recon and the wall hacks. Give it a UAV ping, give it whatever you have to do. I do not care. Just get rid of this stupid idea of wall hacks. It's dumb. It's caused way too much controversy within this community, and it just needs to go. It'd be better off for everyone. Now, I just want to put a quick little addition here at the end of the video that we also got to see our first look at the 3 maps that are going to be coming in Season 1 for Black Ops 6. They are going to be called Heirloom, Extraction, and Hideout. Now, all that we kind of have is the overview of these, a cinematic, nothing concrete yet. I'm assuming one of these is going to be used for face-off. The other 2 are going to be regular 6v6 maps. I'm going to reserve judgment until I see a little bit more of them and see how they play, of course. So I did want to just add that in here as that wasn't in the patch notes, but it is something to note nonetheless. So with all that being said, guys, I thank you all so much for watching. I am extremely curious to know what your thoughts are on the new update that was released yesterday, how you feel about the changes to Recon, how you feel about the changes to the game as a whole. But that's it for me today. I'm going to go play some Black Ops 6. I think there's a new update, so I probably have to restart my game once I load it up, right? Because that's how Call of Duty works now. But that's neither here nor there. If you enjoyed the video and you hate update requires restart, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.